Hello guys, do you want to build a mobile application, but you don't want to learn a new complex framework like Flutter or React Native? A new possible solution for you in 2025 is NativePHP Mobile. In this video, I will demonstrate this mobile application that you see on the screen for attending events built on Livewire and Laravel. The full project can be described with this schema. You can see we have a native PHP mobile application built with Laravel, a REST API, and another Laravel application that sits on a web server. We created a full course on Laravel Daily describing the process of building this application, with links to repositories for both the API and native app. The link to that full course will be in the description below. But in this video, I will show you main things you need to know when starting to build mobile apps with NativePHP and Laravel. Quick disclaimer, NativePHP is not a free tool. Check their pricing that you see on the screen. And for this review, we were not affiliated and we don't get paid for this course by NativePHP team. We just received a license for testing and decided to create a full course showcasing how simple it is to create mobile applications. First, the demo, and then I will dive into the code showing you what's behind the scenes. Currently, we are on the dashboard and we can see events list that we can join. We can click view details and see that the event is happening, date, and all the talks inside of the event, which is great. But we can also attend an event. So if we click the button, we will be attending the event. We can even do the same for our talks. All of this is coming from our web API server that we built, which has similar functionality where we can cancel attendance, attend events, or preview the list of events. In this case, we can even create an event, but this was not built into mobile application. On the backend, we have this application with API, which is protected by Auth Sanctum. And yes, authentication is also done via API. In this case, we receive a token and we store it in our session, or you can do it in secure storage. From here, we have all the API endpoints for events, viewing an event, attending actions, and talk attending actions. Our events table is pretty simple. We have some basic fields, and the same goes for our talks. Of course, events and talks are with many-to-many relationship. On the front end, consuming that API and acting as our mobile application is another Laravel project, which we started with Laravel's Livewire starter kit and then installed NativePHP with the simple command composer require. Once this was done, we had to run PHP artisan native install, select both platforms. We didn't install the ICU library, but if you have Filament or Intel requirements, then you should install it. Once we have done that, we were ready to go and build our application. And here is something critical that you need to know. When building a mobile application, you need to focus on mobile design. So in this case, you can go into Chrome and turn on mobile view. From here, we can log in and see exactly how our application will look like once it's deployed on mobile. This is a one-to-one copy of what you will see once you run the mobile application and install it on a real device. Now, let's look at the code. First thing to look at is our login. It's not a typical one and it has a small twist. It's using API. So in this case, once the user presses login, we actually send a HTTP request to our API service and log user in that way. The same is happening for our registration. So both authentications are handled via API, not in the local server. Next, we can take a look at our dashboard page. In this case, we want to get events, but it's two types of events. One that is attending and one that's upcoming. Both of them are filters that we have in the API, and we simply just call the API with a token that we received from login or registration and display the information on our list. If we go inside the list, it's a simple blade file with some Livewire and Alpine.js. Last, if we take a look at our event show page, which hosts the buttons to join or leave an event, we can see that we're also doing an HTTP request to our API, getting the information and rendering it down. From here, we have a few functions that will trigger joining or leaving an event. Both of those actions are again done via API. So with NativePHP, if you're not building a local-only application, you will have to use a lot of API calls, and that's not a bad thing. You just have to keep in mind that the information is stored on your web server instead of the local app. So if there is no network connection, this might become an issue, but there will be some features to avoid that. Now, let's talk about how do we build the applications and publish them to App Store. As you can see, NativePHP published one application, Daily Pursuit, and there's even another application, the PHP Kitchen Sink app. It's both Android and iOS, which highlights all the functionality that they have. And this is exactly how it was done. In order to release your application, you have to set a version and follow the build numbers. Once you have done that, you simply run PHP artisan native run build. That's pretty much it. You will have your application being built as something that you can publish, and from there are two official suggested guides to publish and submit the application to your preferred app store. Of course, building an application with native PHP is not just about responsive web view. In fact, it has a lot more to offer. For example, camera access, push notifications, deep linking, secure storage, or even location service. In fact, it even got a recent 1.1 release, which brought a few nice things. For example, splash screens, secure storage support, geolocation using a GPS data for your app, gallery picker, and many more improvements. So we didn't implement all of them into our course or even demo application, but if this project gets enough traction, we will for sure get back to it and add more features. So yeah, what do you think about this new alternative to creating mobile applications? Do you like it or do you hate it? Or you have a mixed opinion? Let us know in the comments and let's discuss how useful this can be.